You see all this. So this is part of the tonsil. And if we just move around here, you see it's all the way around. It is oral epithelium. The other easy way to recognize them, what do you see here? These are salivary glands. Okay, so down here and some fat tissue. So if we move back to the lymphoid part, okay, there is a secondary lymphoid follicle, okay?
And bladder.
Here, because you see the germinal center. There are more lymphoid follicles and everything. And the rest of it, you're gonna see high endothelial granules, just like in the lymph node around here. And what is important in terms of recognition is underneath the lymphoid tissue, you see connective tissue here. There's a connective tissue capsule at the base. Connective tissue at the base. Okay? That's what you see. And the surface is covered with the oral epithelium. Otherwise, it's just like a lymph node. Okay? It's based on the location, and we can go to higher magnification again. What you also see is that the lymphoid cells infiltrate the oral epithelium. Basically, the whole entire thickness of the oral epithelium, you're going to see lymphoid cell infiltration. If we move down, try to find a deep crypt here somewhere, we often see debris in the crypt. Not in this one. And this is actually not a very active tonsil here. We have another one. We have a pharyngeal tonsil. Okay, this was 34. This was not a very good one, and we don't have a lingual tonsil. The lingual tonsil is very similar. It was probably rather a lingual tonsil. No. Okay. And we have a pharyngeal tonsil. The lingual tonsil also is covered by the oral epithelium since it's on the tongue. Okay. The difference between the lingual tonsil and the pharyngeal tonsil is much smaller, but this particular was not the best one. And the connective tissue capsule is thicker in the pharyngeal, in the palatine tonsil, and also the crypts are deeper. Let me go back with the power. This should be the pharyngeal tonsil, and the pharyngeal tonsil. The good way to recognize it, if we find the respiratory epithelium covers it. So the respiratory epithelium is the pseudostratified columnar ciliated epithelium, and there you go. You see a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Don't you see some cilia here?
It's hard to
right?
see.
On those cells. So this is the covering.
So,
that's the
really
only
faint.
way you can really distinguish between the pharyngeal tonsil and the palatine tonsil. It is covered with the respiratory epithelium because it localizes in the nasal cavity, in the nasal pharynx. And here you still can see that it's not the oral epithelium, and maybe you see the cilia on the cells.
Yeah.
Nothing else. So basically, the secondary lymphoid organs structurally are very similar. The main difference between the lymph nodes and the spleen, that the lymph nodes filter the lymph, the spleen filters the blood. The mucosal immune system is developed to recognize antigens either reaching the system through the air or through the alimentary tract, and that's what they are specialized for. That's why they are in very close connection with the lumen of the organs where they are localized to. But the main function, the meeting of the of the antigen-presenting cells and T cells and B cells are the same in the secondary lymphoid organs. The another important functional difference is that the mucosal immune system is developed mainly to produce the IgA antibody, while the lymph nodes will produce the IgM and IgG, which are secreted into the bloodstream and delivered systemically. So it is more systemic, but the basic function is the same, and the activation of the cells is the same, and the structural localization of the cells is very similar.
She's like IgM. IgM, what was the other one? I didn't get the other one.
Alt IgA.
I think I'm done
Something
with
else.
this. If you have any questions, just please ask.
And that's my sweet boy. Bye-bye.